نحمده تعالى ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن بالله ونشكره ونعوذ به من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله وصفيه وخليله ادى الامانه بلغ الرساله نصح لهذه الامه حتى توفاه ربه فصلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا إلى يوم الجزاء والدين. My dear brothers, we started talking last week about our mission in life. We started talking last week about calling people to the way of law, about spreading this religion amongst others. And we say that one thing that has made this community so special is the fact that it enjoins what is right. It forbids what is forbidden. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. You have been the best community sent forth to mankind. You enjoy what is right, you forbid what is wrong, and you believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla. So He has put these two characteristics, enjoying what is right and forbidding what is wrong, before even the belief in Allah Azza wa Jalla. And we know that there is nothing more important than believing in Allah. We know that the thing that saves the human being from the hellfire is the testifying in the oneness of Allah. So we have talked about this important blessing in the life of all, this blessing of being guided to Islam. Not only that, but to guide others to Islam is our mission. Is what we have been creating, we have been created for. وَلْتَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. And let them be arising amongst you. A community that enjoins what is right, calls for what is right, forbids what is wrong, and those will be the successful. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And those will be the successful. And we have talked about how the Prophet ﷺ, he has struggled in his lifetime so that we today, after 14th century, believe in Allah, so that we are sitting in this place today, testifying that there is no God but Allah. We have talked about how much struggle he went through in his life, how much rejection he has faced from his own family, from his uncles, from his own family members, his own tribe. He used to be the trustworthy person, and yet when he called people to the way of law, all of this has changed all of a sudden. He lost his status amongst his people, amongst his tribe, but all of this did not stop him from calling people to the way of Allah. And we have just talked about one story that shows how much patience he has shown in his lifetime. So this is about the story about the Prophet ﷺ. But someone might say that, but this is the Prophet. He was tasked to do so. He was commanded to do so, and we are different. We are no different. We are no different in the sense that we are to follow his footsteps. That we should follow his footsteps. And I'm going to give today examples from the life of his companions. 2 examples precisely. From the life of his companions to show that when you have the right commitment, when you have the right motivation, the right determination, you can be successful as well in calling people to Allah, and you can bear this responsibility to the best you can. The 2 examples I'm going to talk about are the examples of Abu Bakr, and the second example is the example of Tufayl. I'm sure that all of you know who is Abu Bakr, with his highest status in Islam. Abu Bakr, Prophet ﷺ said, ما سبقكم أبو بكر بكثير صلاة ولا صيام ولكن سبقكم بشيء وقع في قلبه. Abu Bakr has not advanced you by more prayers or by more fasting. What he has advanced you, what he has advanced all of this community by, is something that he has in his heart. Abu Bakr was one of the earliest who have reverted to Islam. When he reverted to Islam, he felt his responsibility towards this religion. When he reverted to Islam, he felt his commitment. From the moment he pronounced the testimony of faith in front of the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't learn, or he didn't wait, or he didn't find it as an excuse for so many years to learn knowledge or to gain this or to have different means before going to call people to Allah. From the moment he reverted back to Islam in front of the Prophet, he felt his responsibility towards his religion. He went on his mission, a mission that he defined to himself. Not even the Prophet told him that you need to go and call now people, others to join Islam. A mission that he defined for himself, a mission that he understood just from the way the Prophet has explained his religion. A mission that comes out of the heart, that wants goodness for others as well, not the goodness to be confined to oneself. He went to call people to Allah and he came back a few days later with 5 of the 10 people who are promised the paradise in their lifetime. 5 of those have reverted to Islam because of the call of Abu Bakr. And that's why it explains it. The Prophet said, مَا سَبَقَكُمْ بِكَثِيرِ صَلَاةٍ وَلَا صِيَامٍ. He has not advanced you by a lot of prayers, by a lot of fasting, by something he has in his heart. And that's why when we hear stories that the Prophet one day he was sitting in the masjid and he said, أَيْنَ أَبُو بَكْرَ تَعَالَ بِجِوَارِ. Where is Abu Bakr? Come next to me. And he will raise his hand and he will say, هَكَذَا نُبْعَثُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. This is how we are going to be resurrected in the day of the hereafter. When you hear these stories, you understand the commitment. You understand that from the moment he has pledged allegiance to the Prophet ﷺ, from the moment he has reverted to Islam, he didn't stop on it. Nothing stopped him from his mission. No family, no rejection from the family members, no rejection from the community or the tribe. No, nothing has stopped him. Not even the lack of knowledge that someone might find as an excuse. Abu Bakr, what did he learn from the Prophet ﷺ when he just reverted back to Islam? Nothing more than shahadatain, nothing more than the 2 testimonies of faith that there is no God but Allah and that there is one Prophet that he is calling to Islam. At this moment, Abu Bakr, he didn't know more than these few notions. Even there were only few verses revealed at that time. The religion is not as vast as we know it today. And yet, it didn't stop him from his mission. And yet he went and he called people to the way of Allah. And yet he came back with 5 of those who were promised the paradise in their lifestyle, in their lifetime. And all of those people, deeds, will be in the palace of Abu Bakr. The second example, probably a less familiar one, is the example of Tufayl. Tufayl is a companion who came to Mecca. People used to come to Mecca for trade and for other purposes, before even the call of Islam. He came to Mecca in the midst of the conflict between the Prophet ﷺ and the disbelievers. And in the midst of this conflict, exactly like the media is doing today, the disbelievers stopped him by all means to listen to the Prophet ﷺ. They warned him from listening to the Prophet ﷺ. They stopped him by all means from doing so. And he said, yes. He said, I decided, he said that I'm not going to listen to anything from the Prophet ﷺ. And he decided to not come close at any moment to the Prophet ﷺ so that he doesn't get affected by what he's saying. He even put cotton in his ears so that he doesn't listen to anything, or not a single word will go into his ear from the Prophet ﷺ. He said, فَأَبَى اللَّهُ. Allah has refused, but to let me hear what the Prophet was saying. I found myself in the Kaaba, and I found myself so close to the Prophet ﷺ. This is the man that they had warned him from coming close, from getting in contact with the Prophet. He said, yet I found myself next to him. I found him praying a prayer different than ours. وَرَأَيْتُهُ يُصَلِّي صَلَاةً غَيْرَ صَلَاتِنَا. Prayer different than ours. And I saw him doing acts different than ours. وَرَأَيْتُنِي أَسْمَعُ الْقُرْآنَ. And he said, and I heard, and I found myself listening to the Quran. This Quran, my dear brothers, by the way, between brackets, this Quran that even if it is revealed on a mountain, لَرَأَيْتَهُ خَاشِعًا مُتَصَدِّعًا مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ. You will find it humble. You will find it coming apart from the fear of Allah. So if you don't find an impact of Quran on yourself. You come, you hear Isha recitation, you come, you hear Fajr recitation, and nothing, and you don't feel anything in your heart, then there is something wrong with it. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن, if we have revealed this Quran on a mountain, you will see it humble. You will see it coming apart from the fear of the Lord. This is a disbeliever who didn't even know what is this religion about, who didn't even know whether the core of the Prophet was right or wrong. And yet, when he hears these verses, his heart vibrates. And he followed the Prophet ﷺ after he left Kaaba. He followed him and he went to see him. يا أعرض علي يا محمد والله ما رأيت أحسن من أبي أعرض علي يا محمد. I have not seen anything better than your affair. Present me your affair. Prophet ﷺ presented him Islam in few words, not more than that. He said, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. I believe that there is no God but Allah and that you are His messenger and prophet. He said, ابعثني داعية إلى قوم دوس فإنهم فشى فيهم الزنا كفروا بالله وفشى فيهم الزنا. Straight afterwards, he told the Prophet ﷺ, not even the Prophet told him, now go to your community and call them to the way of Allah. He said, no. He initiated the call. He said, let me go to my community, send me to my tribe so that I can call them to the way of Allah. Zina has spread amongst them and they have disbelief in Allah. He went. And like all calls, not everything will be successful. This is a human life, this is a worldly life. He went, he called his people, they didn't listen to him, they did not respond to him. And before him, so many communities, so many tribes, so many nations before, they didn't respond to the call of their prophets and messenger. Nuh, Allah Azza wa Jalla, he said, فَلَبِثَ فِيهِمْ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ إِلَّا خَمْسِينَ عَامًا. He has made his call 1,000 years, less 50 years. 150 years struggling, enduring Nuh in his call with his community. Though Tufayl, he went back to those, he came back to the Prophet ﷺ, أُدْرَ عَلَيْهِمْ Ya Rasulullah, أُدْرَ عَلَيْهِمْ هَلَكَتْ those has perished. Can you make bad invocations on him? The Prophet ﷺ said he raised his hands, not to make bad invocations on them, but to make good invocations for them. The Prophet ﷺ with the big heart, he doesn't want, he wants the community to be divided. He doesn't want destruction. He said, he raised his hand and he said, Allahumma hdi dawsan wa ati bihim. Oh Allah, guide those and bring them. He went back. Tufayl, he went back to his community. He called them again to Allah. And he came back with all of his tribe. Those. تشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. All of the tribe of those, he came back with it, testifying that there is no God but Allah and that the Prophet is his messenger. This is the story of Tufayl, someone whom months ago, people were warning him from listening to the Prophet, and yet the effect of the Quran has been so special on his heart. And yet when he went back to his community, he called them, didn't respond, came back to the Prophet, went back, and he came back with all the tribe of those. تشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. And amongst the tribe of those, someone whom you will be familiar with his name, Abu Hurairah. Abu Hurairah was one of these people who have reverted to Islam because of the call of Tufayl. Abu Hurairah and all of the tribe of those will come in the hereafter in the balance of Tufayl. Whatever they have done as goodness, they will come in the balance of Tufayl. Let me just finish by saying that these examples that I have presented, Abu Bakr, Tufayl, or all other examples that you will find in the lives of the companions, they didn't have knowledge more than you or I do. What did Tufayl know after straight saying to the Prophet أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله? He only knew that there is one Lord. He only knew that there is a prophet and a messenger somewhere in Mecca. Abu Bakr, the same story. When he went for his mission to call people to Allah, he didn't know more than that there is Allah and that there is a prophet. And yet, they went for their mission in life. هذه النماذج لم يكن لها علم أكثر من علمي ولا علمي. They didn't have knowledge more than you or I do. They didn't have means more than those that are offered to you or to myself. What they have different from ourselves is a strong determination. It's a commitment from the moment they revert back to Islam. It's a strong determination from the moment they gave their hands to the Prophet ﷺ to pledge allegiance to him. A strong sense and strong determination towards this religion, towards spreading the goodness amongst others, not to keep it confined to themselves. And then we will talk, inshallah, in the next speech, and we'll finish by this, in the next one, about your and my responsibility. So Allah